Hello, I'm going to take you through some really cool stuff with Stapplet.com. That's Stapplet.com. This is a pretty basic looking site that has a lot of really great tools for statistics. You can do almost anything you want to do here. Really, the only downside with Stapplet as compared to like Google Sheets is you're just doing quick calculations and getting readouts. You don't really create a spreadsheet that you can save and share with others and collaborate on. But it still really works well if you just want a quick answer to a question, or you want to find some quick statistics, or you want to look at graphs. I really like it. And what I'm going to focus on today is with quantitative variables. The two things I'm going to look at is a single group and multiple groups here. So first, looking at one quantitative variable with a single group, you can name your variable, you can input raw data or a summary. I'm going to focus on raw data here. The first thing I'm going to do is look at a sample of temperatures. These are temperatures of 130 healthy adults in a study. And I'm just going to my spreadsheet and copying those data. So copy over here, paste. They should be separated by commas or spaces. Tabs work fine too. Typically, if you see a table or a spreadsheet, you can copy and paste here. Doesn't matter if it's just one column or four columns, it should work fine. It's going to default to a dot plot, which is really useful for a lot of situations. It's not going to work so well if you have a lot of precision. You've got summary statistics, and down below is inference, which we'll use later. Using this graph type, you can take a look at different graphs. With a histogram, you can change your class width and starting lower class limit. I usually take a look at the minimum for that. We'd want to start at 96.3 or below. So let's just say we start right at the minimum, 96.3, and we change that class width to 0.3. We can just see how that affects it, and you can kind of look at a bunch of different scenarios pretty quick. You can change that axis to relative frequency and go back to the default spacing if you want. For your box plot, you are going to have really a pretty basic box plot. It is going to show you your outliers, which is great, but you can't really customize it too much. If you want to save it, you basically need to take a screenshot. And I've got an Apple, so I usually do Command-Shift-4, and it allows me to select that area. That's a great way to create a screenshot. With a PC, you could do print screen or one of those other options. In this next area, we've got summary statistics. You don't have mode, but you do have really most of the measurements you want. SD is for standard deviation. It's going to assume it's sample data. If you got a population, you'll have to find the standard deviation a different way because that is a different formula. If you want the mode, I would recommend going back to the dot plot and find the column that has the most dots, or if it's a tie. I'm not sure if that's what they intended, but that seems like the best way to do it. Now going back, if we want to compare a couple of variables, we could do one quantitative variable, multiple groups. So actually, I said that wrong. What we're comparing is the same variable measured from perhaps different populations. The spreadsheet I'm going to use for that is a population consisting of the ages of every person who won Best Actor or Best Actress. At the Oscars. And so I'm going to input raw data again. The first one, I would want to put women or actresses. And then here I have actors. And just to show you what I'm looking at, here's my spreadsheet. So I'm going to copy the first one, that's women. And then I'll do the same for the men. And begin analysis. You can add more groups if you want. Here we get a side-by-side dot plot comparison. You get side-by-side statistics. You can look at side-by-side histograms. Same thing where you can adjust things if you want. And box plots. Now you have one more option, and that is you could do two quantitative variables for an XY plot. And that's something we're going to come back to later to see if there's any relationship between two variables. But as far as descriptive statistics go with what we're doing, you really can just focus on these two. I haven't looked at categorical variables, but those work much the same way. This is a great tool, and I hope this video helps you out.